Hello, fellow nonprofiteers. It is Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for episode 10 of What's Good Wednesday. Take a break with me and let's celebrate what's good in the nonprofit world this week. As always, I'm your host, Jamie Dingler. I'm the owner of What's Good LLC, a nonprofit marketing and fundraising consulting firm based on the beautiful Eastern Shore of Maryland. And I'm also the author of this little guy, the itty bitty book of nonprofit fundraising tips for board members from a development director who hates asking people for money. We have a ton of show for you today and so much good news to share. This is the best day of the week. I love celebrating your wins. If you have something that you want to celebrate at your organization, please send it my way. I would love to share it with the world. Wednesday at bewhatsgood.com. Send them. We want to spread all the good nonprofit news. If you would like to know more about What's Good, my company, or find What's Good Wednesday, head over to bewhatsgood.com. You can find more information about me, some other resources, etc. Head over there. If you want to know where else you can watch the show, it's always available on Facebook and YouTube. The handles there are, shockingly, Be What's Good. We're not very original here. We like to keep it consistent. While you're on Facebook or YouTube, do me a favor and like the video or subscribe. It really helps me. I'm trying to get this going and spread the word to more people, so it helps other people be able to see it. So I hope you'll take the time to do that. And you can always find me or the show on LinkedIn at What's Good LLC or my personal name, Jamie Dingler. All right, we've got so much to share with you today, so let's go. Our first organization of the week is Shore Lit. Their mission is to enhance local cultural offerings with free community literary programs that are open to the public. Their events are designed to explore relevant ideas, foster literary conversation, and build inclusive community. As they head into their fourth year, they aim to expand into youth literature and literacy programming. Their goal is to inspire a love of literature in young people by creating experiences of wonder and joy around reading and writing. Great and worthy cause. They are currently having a fundraising campaign, I love this, where if they can get 100 donors to give a donation of any size, could be $1, could be $1,000, they'll unlock $5,000 in pledged donations to the organization. So I think that's a great way to do a match challenge. How fun. I love it. If you are interested in donating, if you want to know more about it, contact the director, Carrie Folan, at easternshorolit@gmail.com. I hope you make your 100 donors Shore Lit. I hope when you do, you'll share it with us so we can celebrate it with you. All right, let's move on to the Talbot County Free Library. They connect our community to ideas and information to enrich and renew lives. They are celebrating their 100th birthday this year, which is so incredible. And they also have another big milestone coming up as well. They're coming to the completion of a major expansion of one of their branches, the St. Michael's Library. And in a couple of weeks, they'll be starting their brick campaign, and patrons can purchase a 4x8 brick for $100 or an 8x8 brick for $300. So if you want to learn more about that, head over to TCFL, stands for Talbot County Free Library, tcfl.org, and click on About and then hit Naming Opportunities, and you can find out a little bit more about the St. Michael's expansion and how maybe you can help a little bit. Next, we have WHCP. This is a local community radio station. Their mission is to provide a trusted and indispensable source of information, perspective, and the arts while strengthening the civic, cultural, and economic life of the communities they serve. And they're celebrating a successful spring membership drive and just wanted to give a shout out. If any of their members are watching the show, they want to say thank you. They said it in all caps, so they mean business. Thank you to all of their members for making, all their shows possible. They're also celebrating a brand new program, Heather Cox Richardson's Letters from an American. And that is only available on WHCP, so I hope you'll go and check that out. Next, we have the Tread Avon Players. It's a nonprofit organization whose purpose is to enrich, educate, and entertain its community by providing a high-quality theater experience. They're celebrating Connor Christopher. He's a senior at North Carolina High School, and he has just been named the recipient of the 2025 David and Fiona Foster Scholarship. Connor, who will be attending the University of Maryland this fall, performed in TAP's 2023 production of The Fantastics. To qualify for the scholarship, students must participate in at least one TAP production, either on stage or backstage, prior to graduating. There's still time for members of the class of 2026, so if you're local on the Midshore of Maryland, there's still time to get involved and become eligible. Again, you just have to qualify by participating in at least one production. The applications aren't due until December 31st. There are 3 opportunities coming up. One of them is the Shakespeare Midsummer Stage Workshop, and they've extended the registration deadline until later this month or when the program fills up, whichever comes first. And so if you're interested in participating, finding more about all the productions that go on at Tread Avon Players, learning more about the David and Fiona Foster Scholarship, head over to treadavonplayers.org. All right, moving to an organization that we showcase a lot on this show. They seem to be constantly sending us great news. They are rocking and rolling over there at Tides of Grace. They officially secured a larger office space that's directly connected to their existing community resource center. This expansion gives them extra room that they've needed to store more donations, organize their outreach projects, and most importantly, launch some new community resources that they've been working on for some time. So having more space allows them to serve the community more efficiently and dream even bigger as they continue growing their impact across the shore. Congratulations to Tides of Grace. This is huge. Expansion is always a big deal, and they're always sending us such wonderful news, and we hope they keep it coming and they continue to grow and expand their services and help even more of our neighbors, towards success. Next is the E-Beauty Community for Cancer Support. They are out of Stevensville, Maryland, and they provide free wigs and support services to women undergoing cancer treatment across the country, with a new community center on the Eastern Shore that offers in-person services, local wig fittings, and connection programs like their Breakfast Club. And just this spring, they celebrated 1 year in their new space, and they've partnered with nearby hospitals to help women feel seen, supported, and confident throughout treatment. And congratulations to E-Beauty. This is such a wonderful cause, and continue your amazing work, and congratulations on 1 year in your community space. Here's to many, 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 many more. Next, we have Channel Marker. They've got a really great program coming up. If you're, again, on the Midshore of Maryland, they've got a free program coming up. Channel Marker provides mental health and wellness support for adults and youth with severe mental illnesses in Caroline, Dorchester, and Talbot counties. They're hosting this free event on Thursday, the 26th, at Cambridge South Dorchester High School. They're screening the movie Stay Alive, which is a documentary film that conveys an intimate conversation about suicide prevention and mental health, featuring international speaker Kevin Hines, Mark Goldstein, MD, who's a suicide prevention expert, and Reiko, a suicide prevention advocate. After the screening, Kevin Hines himself is going to be there in person to lead a panel discussion. Again, this event is free to the public. If you are interested in attending, if you're in the area, RSVP to Stay Alive at channelmarker.org. Next, we're introducing another new organization to the show. Welcome to the Annapolis Dragon Boat Club. They work toward the mission of developing healthy bodies and spirits and building a community through dragon boating for everyone impacted by breast cancer. The club is celebrating 15 years. Congratulations for 15 years. And they have 150 members who are all breast cancer survivors. On May 17th, they hosted their annual Awaken the Dragon ceremony on Spa Creek in Annapolis to kick off the 2025 paddling season. The Awaken the Dragon ceremony includes an ancient tradition. To awaken the dragon for the new season, club members present the dragon heads that are on the boats to dignitaries who dot the pupils of the slumbering dragon's eyes. Basically, they paint over the pupils at the end of every season to put the dragon to sleep. And then when they dot the pupils, it awakens the dragons. And with the dragons wide awake, the heads are once again secured to the 650-pound dragon boats. They're 48 feet long and 4 feet wide at the center. And then after the ceremony, they share special remembrances, and the paddlers head off to the pier to push off into the water. As they push off, each paddler receives a pink carnation, and after the boats reach deep water, they release the flowers into the creek in remembrance of every man or woman who has died of breast cancer, which is so touching and beautiful. And what a wonderful way to not only open the season, but to commemorate and remember other warriors, other survivors, other people who fought and maybe lost the battle with breast cancer. What a wonderful organization, the Annapolis Dragon Boat Club. Next we have H-Help. It stands for Helping Hands, Empowering and Lifting People. They offer guidance and support to those struggling with alcohol and other addictions and their families in Maryland, Virginia, and DC. On June 29th, they have their Caring for the Caregiver event. It's in Rockville, Maryland, and they'll have professional panelists, information on self-care, swag bags, and a raffle and more. And so if you're interested in participating in that event, learn more. That's for anybody in the state of Maryland, Virginia, DC. Learn more or register for the event at hhelp.org. That's HHELP.org. Go check it out. Moving on to Pennsylvania, the Lancaster County Workforce Development Board, along with the Pennsylvania Department of Labor and Industry and the Pennsylvania Board of Health, recently launched a pilot program. This is so cool. I think this is really neat. Offering on-the-spot birth certificates, which arm Pennsylvanians with the right documents to help them take an important step toward employment. This service launched in Lancaster, but will eventually be offered at other PA CareerLink events across Pennsylvania later this year. This was just a pilot to see how it would work. It was successful, so going forward, this service will be offered at certain events, again hosted by PA CareerLink Lancaster County. So head over to LancasterCountyWIB.com for more information and future dates. Congratulations on this amazing program. I think that should be countrywide. It is so difficult for folks who have lost their documentation to get up and running, to get working, or if they need, financial help, if they're homeless or, experiencing poverty and need services, if they don't have the right documentation, it's so hard for them to get going. So this program is just absolutely incredible. And it takes the worry and so much time and effort out of the process of retrieving some of your documentation. Congratulations. I hope all your future events are a success. I hope more people will hear about this and start doing more programs like this. All right. I can't believe it. We are to our final celebration of the day, but it features 4 different organizations. So I'm excited to share about the Baltimore Community Foundation, which aims to inspire donors to achieve their charitable goals generation after generation while improving the quality of life in Greater Baltimore through grant making, enlightened civic leadership, and strategic investments. This month, they're excited to highlight 3 local organizations and recent Baltimore Community Fund grantees that get kids moving and drive positive community momentum. These organizations use physical activity and sport as a powerful tool for growth, not just to keep kids busy, but to help them build confidence, discipline, and leadership skills that last a lifetime. So let's meet these organizations. The first one is Corner Team Inc. They blend Olympic-style boxing with mentorship, tutoring, and community connection, proving that champions are built both in and out of the ring. Super cool program. I love these kinds of programs. Bentaloo Recreation Council in West Baltimore uses basketball as a vehicle for mentorship and mental wellness, helping students navigate life's challenges through trusted relationships, consistency, and care. And finally, the Cherry Hill Eagles Foundation offers a safe space for kids to grow, play, and lead right in the heart of South Baltimore. So congratulations to all of those grant recipients, to the Baltimore Community Foundation for all the wonderful work that you're doing, and to all of our organizations that we're celebrating today. Confetti to you all. If you have something that you want to share at your organization that you want to celebrate on a future episode of What's Good Wednesday, send it my way. We want all the good news. Send it to Wednesday@bewhatsgood.com. Also, we do have our next segment coming up is the topic of the week. So if you have a topic that you would like discuss, or if there's a question that you might have that you think I could help answer, please send it also to Wednesday@bewhatsgood.com. All right, let's talk about the topic of the week. This week, we're talking about something that couldn't be more simple: the personalized thank you. There are 3 things that you need to do to help your donors become recurring donors, okay, to what they call donor retention. The first one is to acknowledge a donation. The second one is to thank your donor. Those are not the same thing. Your acknowledgement is a tax letter, which is a form letter, and that's nice, and it gives them the information that they need to go and write off your donation or whatever they need to do. It lets them know that you received it. There can be nice gratitude language in there. It can be a really effusive, wonderful letter, but that's not really a thank you. That is an acknowledgement. That should go out right away as soon as you receive the donation. The second thing is to thank your donors. And the third thing is to inform them where their money is going. Today I want to focus on the thank you and why it is so important. I think so many organizations skip over this part. Again, like a lot of organizations think, well, we sent that acknowledgement letter out. It says thank you on it. We're good to go. If you are practicing relational fundraising, which is based around the concept of building relationships, not just a transaction, not just the give me your money, thank you for your money, right? If you're building relational fundraising, then you want your donors to have a more personal connection with your organization. You want them to feel like they're part of something. You want them to feel like they are incredibly appreciated. And the tiniest thing that you can do that makes the biggest impact is either sending a handwritten thank you note or a personal thank you call. There are a lot of donor management platforms now that have the option to do a video. You can send out a personalized thank you video to people, which I used to do as a development director, and oh my God, the response was so amazing. The point is that you are personally acknowledging, you're taking the time out. You know how much it means to somebody that you're taking the time out of all your busy work from a busy day, you're taking the time out to talk to them. And because they know that you're an organization that gets a lot of donations, that means they know how many people you have to contact, but you're still making the effort to reach out to them. It makes such a huge difference. I can't tell you how many people received a handwritten thank you note or a thank you video when I was development director that made it a point to say, like, nobody does this anymore, and it really makes an impact. I can't believe, just for my little $50 donation or whatever it was, that you took the time to do that. It makes a huge difference when you're trying to build relationships and build a community around your organization. And bonus, it's so much more impactful when it doesn't come from a staff member. When it comes from a board member, it means even more that somebody from the leadership, a volunteer, took the time out to make this contact with the donor. So this is a great opportunity. If you have board members that don't have a lot of time to contribute, but are happy to sit and write. They have good handwriting, or they don't mind making a phone call. This is a great way to involve your board members in fundraising. It's one of the most important parts of fundraising is donor retention and thanking your donors. So this is a great way to get your board members participating in a way that feels comfortable and good for them as well. A couple of tips while you're sending out your thank you notes. Actually, best practice is not to send it on some kind of branded thank you card or envelope. If you think about it, this makes perfect sense because most likely your donor has given a donation because they've already received some kind of communication from you, likely an appeal letter or another communication from you. Then, after they've given their donation, they've received another communication from the organization. Usually, it could be an email if they've done it online, but, usually it's a tax receipt in the mail. And if they get a third thing from you, that just feels like, oh God, what else do they want? I've already given, they've already thanked me. What more could they want from me? And so sometimes that might get tossed aside and saved for later because, they've already heard from you. They don't necessarily want to deal with it right now. But if you have just a straight up thank you card in a regular envelope, and it's not addressed from the organization, it's addressed from the person who wrote the thank you card. So from your board member, from your executive director, from your volunteer that wrote it to the donor. And, it's nice that that's handwritten and not printed on a label and with a real stamp on it also. Makes a difference. This all makes a difference. It's going to make it more likely that somebody opens it and sees that little piece of gratitude, that little extra effort that you're making to let your donors know how much you appreciate them. So that's the topic of the week, extolling the virtues of the handwritten thank you, the personalized thank you call, the personalized thank you video. It makes the difference a lot of times between keeping a donor and not keeping a donor. I can also tell you, actually going backwards, there's a wrong way to do it. So make sure that your thank you notes are genuine. They have actual words in them. It doesn't just say, thank you, love, organization. It talks a little bit about the impact that their donation will have, how much it's appreciated. Real words, guys. Use your words, right? Make sure you're doing it the right way if you're going to take the effort to do it. Donors do notice, and an organization lost my donation once because they sent me just an absolutely awful thank you card, frankly. Going through the motion isn't enough. It's the effort behind it that makes the difference. All right, topic of the week, finished. Go write your thank you cards and go get your board involved in writing your thank you cards. All right, guys, we've come to the end of another episode of What's Good Wednesday. Again, if you have something to share or if you've got a question or a topic that you want discussed during the topic of the week, head over to Wednesday at Be What's Good. Send it my way. I want to hear it. I want to share it. Again, if you want to find out more about What's Good LLC, or if you want to catch the show or catch more resources, go to bewhatsgood.com. Go over to Facebook and YouTube. That's where you can always find the show. The handles on both are Be What's Good. As I said before, if you think about liking or subscribing, I hate to be a YouTuber, but it really does help the show grow. It helps more people be able to see it. So I would greatly appreciate your little button click there if you wouldn't mind. Thank you very much. And of course, you can always find me on LinkedIn at What's Good LLC, or my personal page, Jamie Dingler. That's Jaymej, me, Dingler, on LinkedIn. If you get a chance, head over to Amazon, check out my book, The Itty Bitty Book of Nonprofit Fundraising. It really does make an excellent gift for nonprofit boards that are just starting out, just starting to get the board involved in fundraising. It helps them understand what their role is, and then it gives about the last third of the book is actionable ideas of how your board can participate in fundraising in a way that feels good for them, in a way that if they commit to it, they're going to stick to that commitment because it feels good for them to do. That's it, guys. Thank you for attending the 10th episode of What's Good Wednesday. Have a wonderful week ahead. Send me your good news as it comes in this week, and I will see you again next Wednesday for another episode of What's Good Wednesday. Bye, everybody.